Hello and welcome to Perfectly Mediocre. Today we are kind of checking in on Orion because he did something I didn't want him to do yet. Alright, so you're wondering what? What is going on? Well, you see, part of the challenge with Orion and the thing that we need to actually complete his generation is to marry him off as an elder. We did have that whole incident where we found out that Ava had actually proposed to him. She had the, ring in a bag waiting for him, and, he was all excited. Apparently that whole situation happened. At one point, I had Roxy ask Orion if she could be, like one of the people in the wedding. I don't think she was too particular, but he made her Sim of Honor. Um, we were setting up and preparing for the wedding that would eventually come. We had a few days, just 12. Okay, it's a lot of days, but we had 12 days until Orion would be an elder, and I planned to have them marry on or around that day. Apparently, Orion and Ava had other plans, and Ava was just a little pushier about this situation than I counted on because they are married and I didn't do it. Now, I also noticed that, first of all, last names are changed. Both Ava and Harry have taken on Orion's last name. That's fine. I had no particular issues one way or another. I thought maybe, if anything, Ava would be the type to hyphenate her name, but this is fine. But I'm not trying to body shame here, but it felt like Ava might have been rounding out a little bit. And I'm like, no, that's not possible. Not what I'm thinking, because, Orion is, infertile. That just can't happen. What could possibly happen here? Ava must be cheating. No. But it is. It's worse than I thought. See, Orion was only supposed to have one child, but apparently he's going to have two more. She is pregnant with a male and female set of twins, and the father is Orion. Through some miracle of science, I guess, they are having another child together. So Orion has gone from having one daughter who he just barely managed to take care of to having four children in just moments. I don't know. My mind is blown right now. I'm just, because this shouldn't have happened on so many levels. So many things here happened. They are not part of the neighborhood stories or anything like that. I haven't moved them out into, like, normally once I'm done playing with a family, I move them into my other households, and they are subject to whatever might happen with the neighborhood stories. I do have a mod in that adds marriage to the neighborhood stories. Apparently that was something that is not actually part of it. They can develop relationships and such, but actual marriage wasn't part of it. So I think that's probably what happened here. And the marriage thing doesn't necessarily bother me, but I had kind of hoped to have, a moment where we could all enjoy the wedding together, get pictures, have this whole situation where Roxy and her dad, they've kind of, finally recovered their relationship, and she gets to be maid of honor, and, all this exciting, fun, cute family stuff. And then these two just went off and did their own thing and somehow got science involved, or something. I don't mind that he's going to have more children. And I didn't do this, so technically I followed the rules of the challenge. But it's quite a change and going to be quite a thing, because he's going to have two more babies just days before he becomes an elder. Um, you know, my brain, on the other hand, is thinking they did say there was the option of adopting later on, that maybe this is how Roxy ends up adopting, although it was supposed to be like one adopted child. Um, Although Ava is quite a bit younger than her husband, so she's probably going to be fine, but it's I'm just having a moment with it all. And here, back home in Oasis Springs, Roxy is kind of developing a little bit of baby fever. Not only is her dad and her stepmom having a child, but her cousin Carissa actually, I think, probably already had a child. She was at least expecting. Yes, she has one child already. She was expecting the last time we talked to her. Her friend Gita, I think it is, was also having a child. Just a lot of friends. Oh, Tulia also had a child. A lot of her friends and family around her are having children, and you know she is actually getting pretty. She's halfway through her young adult, a little over half actually through her young adulthood. She did always want a family because she was pretty much raised as an only child, so she's getting a little bit like, okay, I really want to have a family, and I want to have a family soon. I mean, she's been collecting strays like they're going out of style, but for those who haven't met them, we had Sapika from when she was living back home. She kind of took on Angel, who was a stray in the neighborhood, and just today there was a cat that she finally gave in and allowed the cat in. Dixie has been a stray hanging around the neighborhood for the last several days and finally convinced her, to just move in. So we have Dixie as well. I made a few changes around the house, which should be somewhat obvious, I guess. We finally found a place to store all of these. I've put up a picture frame situation here to start collecting some pictures. We brought in a table and some flowers. We had a job reward. I put that up there. We've added curtains. It kind of really warmed up the space, I think. We have kind of taken away the holiday things, and I redid the entryway in just, I think, a little cozier of a version. Also, might notice that this section is a bit larger. That's because I decided to extend the kitchen, make it a little less cramped, and kind of really working a lot better for us this way. That also gave us a little place here to tuck away some solar panels. I feel like someone in her line of work and being aware of things, she seems like the type, with especially with her handiness skill, that she's going to do things to improve her home and to really keep it as, environmentally friendly as possible. She's finished the rocket. I have not quite gotten onto the upgrades yet. A lot of the money has been going into the house, so we haven't started on that aspect, but we are on the third level of our aspiration, and it's just been a lot of playing chess and such to get to this point. Also, new windows back here. We have kind of dressed this up, I guess, back here. I did try putting in a pool, but I feel like the yard is just too small for a pool. And if we are going to start having a family, I'm trying to figure out which way to go. Whether we move or we move up. I think I like the house enough that I'd like to move up, but it will mean basically putting a staircase right here in the middle of the house is probably going to be one of my best options, because I feel like this is the side that would make more sense to add an addition onto, but I'm not sure how we're going to get up there. So that's all a thing to figure out. Really wishing we had spiral stairs right about now. or that I had maybe arranged this a little differently. I might have to actually just extend out into here a little bit, so then maybe we could bring it up along this wall. We will have to figure that out as the kids come, but we're still working on that relationship with Cypress. Things have been kind of up and down. She does have to become married, but I don't necessarily think she's going to stay married. And I think that that will actually kind of fall into our ideas of how she has one child with, as a human, one child with an alien, and then potentially one adopted child. Maybe that alien relationship comes later after marriage. I'm not sure. We're still figuring this all out, still trying to find if Cypress really wants to stay with us, things like that. We're going to have to play it all by ear. But I do think I want to fast track the relationship a little bit because she is starting to age up and she also is feeling some baby fever with everyone around her expecting. We have had a few promotions over time. It's been actually relatively easy, but she's also been dealing with burnout. So we're constantly going back and forth between her need to work hard at work because she is, ambitious, and her need. Oh, these guys constantly need to go on jogs. They're both energized type dogs or whatever the trait is. I can't remember. But they both want to be walked constantly. So, oops, that's not the one I was trying to do. So as you can see, they both, need incessantly to play. So yeah, it's been a challenge. And now we have a cat that's very vocal. So she really knows how to pick them. So we have 2 days until work starts. I want to have, she's starting to burn out again. Dixie, what do you need attention for? I love that you don't have a tail. It's just like the cutest. Okay, we're going to brush you, give you some attention. The jogging and fitness, I have her doing that a lot. It does seem to help bring down the mental fog a bit, which is fine because she does need to max out fitness as well. I've had her working on upgrading everything in the house. Even her vacuum has been at least partially upgraded at this point. Just overall playing several days of just tedious daily lifestyle and building things up for her. All right, Cypress has come over to visit. So I think this is an opportunity for us to kind of work on that relationship. And I was saving this for when we were all together so that they can have that first kiss on camera. Just something kind of exciting. Hopefully she doesn't deny us. They are kind of building a relationship of romantic partners. And I think that was successful. I think they've known each other long enough that I want to... Whoa, what was that about? Probably getting dirty. They can woohoo in the rocket ship already. Okay. I do want to have them woohoo. But I'm in the mood for an actual wedding. So I kind of want to go that route at some point. I thought I had Cypress set so that we could try for baby, but apparently not yet. I'll have to do that at some point. But I want to wait until she's taken off in the rocket on her own before we are doing any rocket woohoo, but we will definitely have to do that. She's an astronaut with a rocket ship in her backyard. I think that's just a given. Ideally, the baby will be conceived that way. All right, so I think we're going to officially ask her to be our romantic partner. And if she accepts that, then I think we'll ask her to move in with us. I think, as I've said, they've been friends long enough. The relationship is moving forward. Roxy's feeling, oh good. Roxy's feeling a little you know, like time is running short and she'd like to really move things along. So we're going to ask her to join our household. I believe Cypress is all alone right now. I do know that she is a cat lover, so she's probably going to love the fact that we have Dixie, who has the greatest face ever, by the way. All right, we're just moving everyone in. You can go ahead and sell your lot furnishings, and that brings in 38,000. Well, that will at least give us enough to do the renovations that are going to be necessary if they do start expanding this family. Oh, new romance dynamic is wholesome. So they have a wholesome dynamic. I love that. Now, she does not have a job. Taking a look at skills, looks like rocket science is also her strong point, and robotics. It makes sense, they were in university together, but she's on probation, which tells me she did not finish school. So I think, oh, look at you. I think to keep things interesting, we're going to go ahead and enroll her back into physics and have her finish class. I think maybe we'll say that Roxy has encouraged her to go back to school, finish her degree, and join her in her career. Another thing I'm doing is handing over all of these frogs to Cypress. She is a curator, which means that she has some unique traits that basically make it a little easier for her to find or I should say collector. She's more inclined to find rare collectibles. And because we are seeking out these frogs, it kind of gives her something to do in between lessons for school. That's going to keep her pretty busy too. I fully admit. Oh my goodness, we have 2 of them? How many? What? Give a presentation for 2 classes? This is insanity. I've never had that before. Must be the classes that she has left or something, or because of her probation. But oh my goodness, I forgot about you needing a litter box. Okay, where on earth are we going to put a litter box? This house is already so crammed. I mean, of course we're going to have a laser litter box, but we need to figure out where it's going to hide. I think we could maybe just sneak it out here. Now, I did come across this nifty picture. I was looking for a chart of all of the frogs, trying to get an idea of how to breed them in order to get some of the other frogs. Unfortunately, this picture was under the image searches, but any copy of it links to like some sketchy websites. So I don't actually know who created it. So if anyone knows where this image came from, please let me know, because I would love to give credit where credit is due. So at this point in time, these are the frogs we have, any that have the pink check mark. From my understanding, the way that the frog chart works is, say we were to breed a dirt and a striped, we would get a striped dirt. Striped and leaf, striped leaf, so on and so forth. So I'm trying to use this to breed the frogs as we go. So I believe I have a leaf and a striped, so I'm going to try breeding them to see if I get a striped leaf. So we're taking the leaf frog, and we're going to breed it with the striped frog. And this time, no luck, we got another dirt frog. But that's the idea, trying to increase our odds of getting the ones that we needed, and then also having her collect in between classes and such. I think because we have the money, I'm going to go ahead and start with the most expensive of the upgrades that we can do right now at our skill level, and get started on the upgrades. Orion calls every day at least once. It's constant. I think he misses his daughter. It's actually very sweet, considering their history was a bit difficult at first. Hey, we managed to actually get it this time. So I bred the striped dirt with the leaf, and we got a striped leaf frog. Probably shouldn't have had Cypress do the cooking, because she started a fire. Alright, we need you to get out of here. Okay, we got one of her presentations done at least, so that's a positive. Alright. Oh, no, don't call the fire department. Should be done. Okay, let's go ahead and replace the most ridiculously overpriced stove. Repair that. I probably should have checked on her skills. I'm just going to have you go ahead, clean things up. And why don't you just, I don't know, call in an order today? Because I think maybe it's best if we don't do too much cooking right now. It does turn out that Cypress doesn't like to cook. So I have a feeling it's best if we leave the cooking to Roxana. Well, Cypress doesn't look like she's really enjoying her day. But pizza in bed, it's a choice. Error message. On a trip to the moons of Wheeler 7, Roxana gets a disturbing error message about a fuel capacity emergency. She's still the junior spacewoman on the team, and her senior officer says to dump the fuel and head for home. Roxana thinks it's something else. Should she obey or follow her instincts? I feel like Roxy is still in that obey and do what she's told. She's very, very much like straight-edged type, so she's going to obey the order. She disengages the fuel lock and dumps thousands of gallons of propellant into space. Then the senior officer takes the stick and they head for the nearest space garage. I figured while we have Roxy away at work and we have, basically a couple of days before she has class again, we'll go ahead and have her look for some frogs and hopefully try to find something a little different. And unfortunately, we appear to be stuck on a never-ending loading screen. I'm hoping I saved a lot earlier than I believe I did. Otherwise, I have a lot of game to replay. But I will do that before I see you next time. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider taking a moment to paw that like button, comment to share your thoughts, and subscribe for more mediocre content like this. Make sure you check out the blog for any information between episodes and to kind of catch up on the story and get additional pictures. Until next time, remember, you are perfect just the way you are.